Right, Ambassador Muchanga, we can't talk about trade if we cannot talk about infrastructure development. And this has to do with hard infrastructure and soft infrastructure. You know, a gentleman or a lady, because it's anonymous in this room, had a question in regards to that. Like, cross-border road transport plays a key role in Africa, carrying over 80% of goods. To what extent is the FCFTA going to address transport challenges in Africa? I want you to be to be spot on this, and not only road transport, because still we're looking at air transport, which has grown tremendously on the African continent, but infrastructure is still an issue.
Yes.
How is the team at the African Union, of course in charge of the AfCFTA, looking to deal with this? Well,
I think the starting point is that, yes, the infrastructure landscape in Africa is quite fragile. We need to develop it. But the African Export-Import Bank is here. They've assured me that the current stock of infrastructure we have in Africa is capable of generating intra-African trade of about $1 trillion US. But that does not mean that we do not need to develop it. We need to develop it very rapidly. When you create a market of this nature, you excite a lot of people. Not too long ago, I had a company from South Africa, which has teamed up with a German company to develop an Africa-wide rail transport network. And I encourage them to join the Afro Champions Club, and they've done that. Then the Afro Champions Club came up with a financing framework which assured the heads of state and government in Niamey that within 10 years, we're going to end the infrastructure financing gap across Africa. Like you indicated, infrastructure is wide-ranging. The issue of energy is part of the question of infrastructure. The
communication too.
Yes, I'll come to that. The Afro Champions have looked at how we can make use of the Inga Dam. Already 15 African countries have mobilized to assure that they will be able to make use of the electricity that is generated from Inga Dam. And we're at advanced stages of trying to see if we can conclude a financing agreement around that. The issue of transport, we've got the single African air transport market. Nothing stops an African to join forces with the foreign partners to come up with the low-budget airlines across Africa. Now it's in the hands of the private sector. It's no longer in the hands of the government. So we're looking at all aspects of infrastructure, and I can say that I think with the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area, there are better prospects for ensuring that we move on a program of rapid infrastructure development.
With just about 14 minutes to the